Poďme na ďalšiu tému. Hovorím to tu stále a je to stále čoraz väčšia pravda. Počítačová bezpečnosť alebo počítačová kriminalita. Je to oblasť, ktorá rastie takým rýchlým tempom a zrejme aj preto, že k počítačovej kriminalite sa pridávajú tí, ktorí doteraz robili iný druh kriminality, ale vyhovuje im tento viac, pretože je to bez identity, je to bez nejakého ukrývania sa alebo bez špinavej práce a ja neviem čo všetkého. V každom prípade na svete, aby sa bojovalo proti kriminalite, sa vynakladajú obrovské prostriedky. Tipnite si. Koľko to bolo? Ja som našiel posledný údaj za rok 2021. Čo by ste povedali? Koľko to bolo? Celosvetovo. Milióny? Takže miliardy, zostaneme v miliardách a bolo to, možno sa to nezdá tak veľa, ale bolo to 6 miliard dolárov, ktoré sa vynaložili. Ale stále je to málo, ten zločin, ten prekvitá každým rokom, nakoniec dozvieme sa to aj v nasledujúcich minútach a preto som veľmi rád, že sa nám podarilo špeciálneho človeka dostať práve sem do Košíc, takže viac o tejto téme, ako je to aj v Európskej únii, prichádza povedať Emmanuel Kessler, ktorý je vedúci prevencie a povedomia v EC3. Je to Centrum pre počítačovú kriminalitu Europol. Asi poznáte Interpol, to sú vedľajšie dvere. Toto je Europol. Please.
Is it okay? Yes. Well, thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Emmanuel Kessler. I work in EC3, the Cybercrime Center of Europol. Now we will all together travel in the fight against cybercrime, and also in the law enforcement services. I will tell you more about what we do, what we do on a daily basis, what are the challenges also of these activities. Well, as you know, digital domain, digital dimension has a great dimension of security as well. This event is dedicated to artificial intelligence. Of course, there is a real dimension of on security in artificial intelligence. And during my presentation, I will answer to these questions. I will try to give you more information about what we provide at Europol level, what is also our role as a cooperation service, cooperation hub. I will give you also some examples about operations against cyber criminals, on cybercrime, cyber attacks, online frauds, child sexual exploitation as well. So we are involved in all these topics and domains. And we will discuss in the end about challenges, because as law enforcement, of course, we are here to grant your security online. We are here also to identify the bad guys, the cyber criminals that can target you on a daily basis. I will explain you how do we work as police officers, as investigators as well. So now, EC3, the Cybercrime Center of Europol, has its 10th anniversary this year. In 10 years, we have achieved a lot, indeed. We are about, to give you an idea, we are about 100 people working here in The Hague, where is the siege of Europol. Our background is law enforcement, mainly speaking, but we have also forensic experts, we have also technical experts amongst us, and we work on cooperation. In our service, we will cover every kind of activities. Indeed, we do not lead investigation. For example, the US FBI will lead investigation in the US with other services, other American services. Not now. No, not us, indeed. Us, we support investigation. It means that, for example, the Slovakian police forces will come to us and will tell us Well, we have identified an operational case with cyber criminals. We need your support. This case is international, involving Austria, Germany, Hungary, Romania, and we need your support to process, to operate this investigation. And from Europol perspective, we will provide a whole support. It means providing premises, well, indeed, rooms to coordinate everybody. It means also providing a forensic support. It means also providing an analysis support or sending experts in the countries. In such cases, we would be in capacity to send experts in Slovakia to support investigations. Imagine that in 3 days, the Slovakian service, police forces, arrest people involved in a big international cases. If the Slovakian police ask us to support them, we can bring some experts in coordination with the other countries that are involved on this investigation. We have in the center, in our service, 3 main areas of work. First one, of course, strategy. As law enforcement, as police officers, we do not work in our garden. We work on digital space. Well, and to be honest, for a police officer, it's not natural. That's not our first culture. But we had, across years, to cope with that. And then we have to have a proactive view about what is coming to us, about the next trends on the digital space, about the evolution of the cyber threats. We have to understand that as soon as possible. That's why we have some strategic activities to prepare that. We do some cyber threats, analysis, assessment. We do some prevention awareness activities as well, because we have to communicate and to inform the public about the threats, about the good practices. We work also on internet governance, because the technological standards will have an impact on our investigation. So we have to understand these technological standards and to discuss with the private sector how to better prepare the future investigations, indeed. We deal also with capacity building. Capacity building, that's indeed all the training, all the training activities that we will provide at European level. We share our expertise. Each time Europol has performed a case, it has some lesson learned and good expertise. It will share that with the colleagues at national level during training opportunities. Forensic. What is digital investigation? That's forensic. It means analysis. It means working on contents, servers, laptops, smartphones. Of course, we have a forensic lab. Last but not least, all that is the main goal of strategy and forensic is preparing operations. Operations to identify cyber criminals and also to take down the criminal infrastructures. Our operational units cover all these kind of threats. So it's not a surprise here. We have 3 main areas of activities. The first one is dedicated to cyber attacks, botnets, ransomwares, everything which is cyber-dependent crimes, indeed. So we will cover all the big operations at European level. We have worked against the Emotet botnet. We have worked on various ransomware cases in the past years. When you work against cyber criminals, there are 3 different levels of activities for an investigator. First, you work on dedicated cases, on cyber attacks, and you will try to identify the guy that is behind this attack. Second, you can choose another strategy, another approach. You can try to cut down, to take down the capacities of the cyber criminals. Last year, we disrupted VPN Lab. This VPN Lab was a tool used by cyber criminals to get anonymous. And as such, if you disrupt this capacity, then you will hamper the criminal activities. The third level of actions against cyber criminals is, of course, taking down the criminal platform. Crime as a service has become very, very efficient and very, very organized. So another way to slow down the attacks, to slow down the criminal activities, is, of course, taking down these criminal platforms. That may be on the dark web, of course, but sometimes not. We work also on online frauds. Online frauds is huge and will become bigger and bigger, of course. Our countries may be targeted from other countries as such, and there is a huge financial impact here. We work on everything which is linked with banking frauds, carding data, and so we work on jackpotting as well. So here we will support colleagues from the member states on this kind of threats. Another area is dedicated to the protection of children, of course. In Europol, we have the second databases in the world, databases of criminal contents that are produced by pedophiles. It is really important. Why? Because when we cross-match these contents, these pictures, these videos, it is a way for us to trace back the criminals. So by cross-matching contents, you may identify between the various cases who are behind the production of these contents. And we have the second one in the world. We are very innovative on that. And for example, we are working on getting this process more and more automatized, as pedophile contents online are very huge. It's a huge amount of contents, and we are working on that. We have in the future the plan at European level to have a dedicated center against child sexual exploitation online, and Europol will be fully associated to this effort. Last but not least, we also support operations on the darknet. Our goal as Europol is to help our colleagues in the member states to organize operation at national level. We provide them our expertise on that. Oops. Forensic. What kind of services we may provide, for example, to the Slovakian police, German police, French police? We have a digital IT lab. This lab in Europol will analyze servers, smartphones, laptops. Once criminals are arrested during an operation, we can send people on request. We can send experts in these member states to take the contents, the laptops, the smartphone. We will analyze them. We have also a decryption platform. This decryption platform can provide, in some cases, a really efficient support. Anonymization is a real problem for us. It's very well for our security online, that's right, but when it is used by cyber criminals, it is also a real challenge for us. Indeed, our decryption platform will try to find the password of cyber criminals. And as such, when we have good information from the beginning on a case, at the beginning of an operation, we may understand how to recalculate the password, and then we can be very successful on some cases. I give you an example. Maybe some of you knows the cases against Sky SAC, ECC, or EncroChat. these two cases were cases in which the cyber criminals used some encrypted devices to communicate. These encrypted devices were used by organized crime groups to prepare their activities, their traffics on drugs, killing people, everything. And so, on these two cases, Europol has supported these operational cases on finding back the passwords that were used by cyber criminals. As such, it was highly successful, and for us, it was very fruitful to understand how organized crime groups were organized indeed. How do they process? How do they communicate? It was done, it was supported at Europol level. We may also send people in the countries to do some of the forensic support, and our colleagues can testimony during the justice process, of course. So now, oops, sorry. Yeah. In case of cyber attack, how do we work? Imagine NotPetya WannaCry, a big cyber attack. Indeed, we have various tools to support our colleagues at national level. We have a cooperation group, what we call the GCAT. The GCAT is the Joint Cybercrime Action Task Force. We have here 23 cyber officers from 19 countries, not only from Europe, but also outside Europe. They have an investigation background, technological background, forensic background, but also a cooperation background. They work on daily basis in Europol, doing some deconfliction, preparing the cases. That's the job of investigators. We have the 3 units that will help us, the operational units. We have also a team dedicated to OSINT, cyber intelligence gathering, and we have also the 24/7 contact point to help us to communicate as fast as possible. Of course, we work with secured communication capacities. We have our forensic support, forensic unit, and here, of course, the private sector. Private sector is the first victim of cyber attacks, but also the first incapacity to collect information for us. That's why in Europol we have a whole cooperation with companies about, for example, how to get the information, how to. We are interested by new trends, by threat assessments. We are interested by new capacities, new technological capacities that could help our investigation. And some companies also will help us on doing some prevention awareness. We help also on coordination. We hold the head of services of the EU, of each services, have meeting in Europol to discuss about trends, about new operations, about training needs. We try also to propose new kind of approach. The first one was in 2016 on ransomwares. With private sector, we have created No More Ransom. No More Ransom is a tool that will help you against an attack by ransomwares. Imagine tomorrow you are attacked by a ransomware. What can you do? Well, solutions are not easy, to be clear, to be honest. But you can get connected to this platform. It is online, free. You will try to identify if there is a decryption solution to your ransomware attacks. Because after each investigation, Europol is in contact with the service partners, with some companies, to identify if they have solved the case and if they can provide a decryption solution. Well, each big cases, of course. Once we have identified a decryption solution, we will mutualize it on this platform. This platform is translated in 38 languages. It is available fully for any victims. Another good, well, just to tell you, this platform has helped 6 million of victims on these 4 last years. Another good practices was, of course, this law enforcement emergency response protocol. You imagine NotPetya, WannaCry. Here, the cybersecurity authorities have to answer and to mitigate. Also, the cyber diplomacy will be involved. But also, the law enforcement police officers have to be involved as well. In Europol, we have created this protocol so as to coordinate the activities between CSIRT and also the investigation services to be efficient, swiftly, and to do the coordination between all the actors that are involved against a cyber attack. Our last input, our last creation is the international ransomware response model. Usually, if you are attacked by a ransomware attack, you go to the police station, you file a complaint, you flag it, and my colleagues at national level will work on these complaints. But sometimes, well, we may need more. And in Europol, we try to fill this need. We have developed a whole strategy against ransomware. The idea is to focus on the crime as a service. The idea is to empower the capacities that are provided to cyber criminals, and not to focus only on one case. And that's the idea of this international ransomware response model. We have done the mapping of ransomware attacks to understand the process. And we try to identify the various steps and how we can take down, cut down the capacities that are necessary for cyber criminals to prepare ransomware attacks. That's our international ransomware response model. That was created 2 years ago after the increase of ransomware attacks. Now, IOCTA. If you are interested by cyber threats, trends assessments, I invite you to get connected to the Europol site and to draft IOCTA 2023. That's our annual assessment. It's in English. It is free, fully available for you. We describe here the latest trends on cyber threats. We describe here the modus operandi of cyber criminals. If you are interested by these questions, please do. These are our latest trends that we have observed. The next edition will be soon available. Of course, to our assessment, well, data theft has become more and more a problem. Sometimes cyber criminals behind the ransomware attacks will do some blackmailing against the victims. And if you don't pay, I will share your data on the darknet. It's a new trend that is really increasing now. Crime as a service has become very professional, very efficient. They are very organized now. It's also a real challenge for us. And well, that's our real problem, real matter for tomorrow and today. DDoS attacks, and especially with the war in Ukraine, these trends has increased. And so we have to cope with that, and I will tell you how in a couple of seconds. Indeed, that's what we do regularly against DDoS attack. An approach that is rather efficient is to take down the capacities that are used by cyber criminals to launch their DDoS attacks. The last operation was organized several months ago. We have taken down about 50 of the booster services that were used by cyber criminals. One of these booster services, these servers, has been used to launch about 30 million of DDoS attacks, to give you an idea. Of course, cyber criminals will recreate capacities. But indeed, that's the game. In taking down their capacities, we slow down their capacities. It means that they will less be in capacity to launch cyber attacks during a while. So it is still useful and interesting for us. Another operation about a criminal platform. Just to show you the importance of the kind of operation we support in Europol. So these are big markets on the darknet with many cyber criminals. And of course, in the end, we have arrests, we have results. So that's the idea. We work on this kind of operations during, well, 6 months, sometimes more, but in the end, we have good results. To give you an idea, in Europol, on cybercrime, each year we support about 450 cases, operational cases. So I could tell you a lot about these cases, but I have limited time, of course. But I have prepared for you some cases as an example. Another one is to give you an idea about how cybercrime is now horizontal. It is not only cybercrime. Of course, we have to work against cyber-dependent crime, cyber-enabled crime also. But every kind of crimes has now a digital dimension, indeed. Especially drugs trafficking, arms trafficking, all kinds of traffics are online now. So each time we take down a platform, we also fight against organized crime groups. And that's the latest example that was achieved, well, 2-3 months ago. This one, that's the last example, is dedicated to cryptocurrency mixer, chip mixer. Also a very recent one, to give you an idea. This tool was used by cyber criminals on ransomware attacks to get the money back. So we have taken down the platform that was used unsuccessfully. Now, the challenges. Challenges, indeed, for tomorrow. How can we keep our efficiency to protect you? That's the idea. Well, indeed, we have to deal with the encryption capacities that are used by cyber criminals. And it's a real challenge for us. There is not one solution, one miracle solution to solve the matter of anonymity of cyber criminals online. But we try in Europol to provide some solutions that could be useful on some cases. And it is a case-by-case approach, but on some cases we are successful. We have to solve with a huge volume, huge number of crimes. Here we need automatization of process. If we have not that, we cannot cope, of course, on that. And here, artificial intelligence will be really useful as well. Cross-border jurisdiction, the law is very similar in the EU, but not outside. And we have to cope with various partners, America, Africa, and other countries as well. So here there is a challenge for us in getting the information. All is a matter of getting the information for us. Anonymity, it's like encryption indeed, anonymity used by cyber criminals. Tracing payments, cryptocurrencies, of course. It's another challenge for us. Fortunately, in Europol, we have very good experts who can, on some cases, trace back the flows of the money. As such, we may be in capacity sometimes to identify the guys behind ransomware attacks. Tracing communication, interception. Indeed, it is still getting the information, and we have the 5G standards, and we have to cope with this new standard as well. On artificial intelligence, just to end, I invite you to consult online, if you are interested, our report. Here we will present our views on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, of course, can provide a lot of positive things, positive supports. Machine learning is very useful. On big cases, for example, EncroChat, SkyECC, we had about 500 million of messages to be analyzed. Here, you can gather 30 investigators in a room with beer and pizza. It will not be enough. So machine learning here is really necessary for us. And it's a good point. It's a good asset that could help us to do some investigation. But unfortunately, of course, artificial intelligence will be used by cyber criminals in being more efficient on online frauds. You can receive scams, but you easily see some mistakes in scams. But scams will be more and more efficient in the future with artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will be used by cyber criminals to learn how to launch some cyber attacks as well. It will be used. We may imagine, we may expect on the darknet to have training capacities for cyber criminals. How do you want to launch a ransomware attack? Go to this site, you will have the expertise available. Artificial intelligence will be also used to lure children, of course. So there are a lot of cases that will be problematic in the future. They will lure the security measures. They will help to produce deepfakes, of course. So we have to cope with that. And for us, as law enforcement officers, we need capacities. We need the legal and technical capacities to use this artificial intelligence. Otherwise, let's imagine fast and furious cars driven by criminals and behind law enforcement officers on horses. We will not cope. Last but not least, on artificial intelligence, we have produced this report on how to solve the protection of freedom, of ethical, and also to use it for law enforcement authorities. Thank you. That was my presentation. If there are some questions, please.
Thank you very much. I think we got some questions. Here is questions.
Well, indeed, with cyber defense, the armed forces are involved on cyber defense. We are, as law enforcement, we are involved in the fight against cybercrime. We do not have such cooperation with armed forces as such, because the two approaches are very different indeed. We may have some contact as a strategical level to discuss about trends, but not at operational level indeed. Second question, how do you exploit AI for analysis to prevent practical attacks? Well, indeed, so far we have we consider the use of AI to further develop analysis. We will probably discuss it, but still in the limit of what will be decided at EU level. Because at EU level, currently, there is a project of regulation on artificial intelligence. And depending on the outcomes of this legal framework that will be decided probably in the next year, we will know how we could use artificial intelligence. But very, very clearly, we have already used machine learning to cope with operational cases. That was very successful, and so far we use it in cooperation with the member states, of course.
Tak, ešte nejaká otázka z publika?
No question.
Okay. No question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.